Okay, welcome to today's recording, or I'm sorry, today's session, uh, KV Core like a pro. We are going to be switching over to bold leads like a pro because the platform is switching over. But that's for another subject for another time. My goal today is to redo the Zenlist presentation that we did last week. As you know, I was in the airport and we had that PA system going, and I had a number of requests to redo that. So, but before we get started with that, I want to go in here and just go back to the basics. I always like to start with the basics. This is my KV core. You can see activity that's going on within the platform. Um, but let's just go with just the most basic of adding a contact. I find that some people get a little intimidated by adding a contact. And I just want to show you how easy it is to add the contact. And it's this button right here. It's the blue button with the plus on it, and you add the contact. This week, I'm going to stick with my hairband theme. And let's capitalize that. And I'm going to add Brett Michael. Not spelling that right. Brett Michael from Poison. Love Brett Michael. Put his email in there. I got his phone number. Now this is the phone number. Phone number for his management company. And we're going to plug that in. And then what is that number? 6607. And I'm going to give myself permission to call, text, and email. I'm going to put him in as a buyer, so I'm not going to put an address in. My lead status, I'm going to put him in as a new lead. I'm going to put myself in as the owner. And then I'm going to go in and assign a smart campaign because I have my smart campaigns turned on. And I'm going to go ahead and add the contact. Then once it's in, I'm going to go ahead and attach a hashtag to it so that it's in the right category. So in this case, I'm going to put him in as a demo. So you can see the demo hashtag is there. You don't have to put hashtag on it. You just type in demo. And that's the way the system really keeps track of where your leads are. And when you're doing marketing, it's a good idea to do that so you can track your marketing and how effective it is. I'm going to set up a search alert for Brett Michael. So I just clicked on search alert. I'm going to pick a frequency and I'm going to go ASAP because this is a serious buyer that I want getting the emails, notices of new listings as quickly as possible. If there was a spouse or a partner, I could put the additional email in there to CC. In this case, we're going to put in Roseville. You can see that it spins and it finds the geolocate. We want Roseville City or area. I'm going to choose area. I'm going to go into the listing type and I'm going to put in single family. You can see the list drops down. Price range, minimum price range. Let's just put in $1 million. And max price range, $1.5 million. Because I think Brett Michael is going to buy a really expensive house. It's just his taste, right? And then from there, I could put in bedroom, bathroom count, square footage. Maybe I want to be 3,000 square feet or more. And what else do I want to do? I want to give him a pool. Only he just wants to look at pools, homes with pools. Now I'm going to go ahead and set alert. And you can see it comes up with 14 results. So I can take and email these results. I can text them, but I know they just went out because now it's set up so that it's ASAP, goes out as soon as possible. So that's how easy it is to set up a contact. If you haven't done this yet, what I find the best practice is to go in and set up your friends and family. Go in and set it up and say, hey, look, I'm trying this platform and I'm going to send you some emails from the platform because I just got to test this thing out and see how it works. This is what I did. This is what I did to get started. And before I started doing this, what I did was I went right here to the system training. Everybody in that has KV Core that logs in, you have the system training. You go to the Agent Quick Start Guide. Everybody, I can't tell you how helpful this is to get started. My story was I was in that bad bicycle accident 3 years ago. I couldn't drive for the better part of 3 months. And I sat there and I watched all of these videos in here. And I watched it with two screens. Some of these videos, they could be just a couple minutes long, but it was taking me 45 minutes to an hour to get through them because I was going into the platform and using it as I was watching the video. And that's really where you get traction with the Quick Start Guide, is when you're going in and you're adding those contacts and practicing what the videos are telling you to do. That's the best way to learn this platform. You can see right here, I just refreshed my activity, and now I got Brett Michael showing up as a manual ad on the lead. Kind of a funny thing we did a while back is I added this Yeti bike. As you guys know, I'm a big mountain biker. Pitt Miller with Success Lending, him and I mountain bike together. And so Pitt said, hey, Alex, add in Yeti mountain biker with this email address. It was totally fictitious. And now they're looking at a ton of properties. It's really kind of funny. I have no idea who they are. I've asked them several times, but it's just kind of a funny thing that happened. But that's the basics of it, you guys. Again, the Agent Quick Start Guide, I'll show you how to get there again. It's right here under System Training. And that's the best way to get started. I do offer training courses, but really I like people to go in and at least get the Quick Start Guide done before we even talk about training, because I like to have a good base before you get into a training class. So that's the Quick Start Guide. Steve, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, for ongoing training, if you could just point them to the learning portal directly to the right of Quick Start, just so they see where that learning portal is, where they could go in and do advanced training. And guys, this is all something Alex and I have learned over time. This is a self-taught system, but it wasn't hard to learn. You just take little baby bites, make this a part of your weekly routine. You're going to be up and running. The system's going to be working, and you're going to be in the top. Well, actually, 95+% of agents will not use the CRM. They will not. They will always chase a deal here and there. And you wonder why the agents that are outrunning everybody, there's just one very simple difference. They run a CRM and you don't. So take the time to get in there and educate yourself through the learning portal. Thanks, Alex.
Yeah. So within this, I've created within the classroom the plays. And the reason we've gone in and created these plays is because it gives you a roadmap to use the platform. Here I am, 2 minutes, 36 seconds. I'm explaining the cotton play and what it is. I'm not going to get into it in detail, but it's the cotton play. And what we're looking at is just going in and taking some simple steps within your contacts. So if you're new to KV Core and you're uploading a database, and maybe you have, I don't know, 100 past clients that you haven't really kept in touch with, well, this is a way to initiate that contact and start that communication with them. Same thing with new leads that you're just adding on. If you get a referral, like I know Brian got a buyer agent referral, or a buyer referral rather, and he's going to go in and set up the cotton play and start trickling information to them. And that's what I explained in this play. The Ricky Caruth the Ricky Carruth, every Friday at 4 o'clock, here's my video that I'm sending out. Actually uploaded twice, but this video is going out, understanding the Fed's 0.5% rate cut and what it means. You guys, this is information that I'm sending out in a video format. It's the Ricky Carruth play, and it's building that know, like, and trust. Do I really want to do YouTube stuff? Not really, but this is the time that we're in. Think about this. 20 years ago, the idea of having your own channel that you could put your content on, you would be the star of it, and you can go out and broadcast your channel to your specific clients. Think about that concept 20 years ago. It just didn't exist. And here we are today, and we have that ability. And that's what I highlight in the Ricky Carruth play. Ricky Carruth, if you aren't picking up on his content, he's a huge, mega successful agent, runs a big agent team in the Panhandle of Florida. He's just got good messaging that he puts out. So there's a lot of good resources out there, and like I say, we're just trying to pull them together into my community. And as you can see, I'm live on the community, and we're going to post this call on there later this afternoon. And so if you want to be part of the community and support the community, please join the community. And it really helps me if you interact with the posts that we put out there and post your own content as well. That's the way we'll be able to grow that community and really add value for everybody. And that's really what we're here to do.
Yeah.
All right,
Alex, let me make a quick comment about Ricky Carruth. This gentleman came out to Placer County Board of Realtors and did a training for us. But one of the things that was so impactful that I learned that day is by doing this simple Friday connection to your database. It's simply just one message a week, and you have 100 people in your database. It'll harvest one more sale out of those hundreds per year. So if you just do that, roughly increasing your closing. So each of these plays will increase the sales you're going to get from your current database. Simple activity. And I think it was actually upwards of 10% actually increased his business by doing just this one play.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's a good point. It's all about building momentum, and I'm coming out with a content calendar and lay it out on a monthly basis, the content that you should be putting out there. That way you have a better, I don't want to say better schedule that you can build, so that you don't sit down at your desk and go, what do I need to do today? You sit down and go, okay, I need to do this today. It's been one of my biggest struggles as a realtor. I get lost in rabbit holes and I lose focus, and I've really tried to overcome that. But let's get to our topic at hand, Zenlist. So I was listening to a podcast this week, and the podcaster was pointing out how the idea of having pocket listings within your real estate network is becoming more of the norm out there, where the different agencies have the ability to hold markets off from MLS and market them within their agency. And the MLS is trying to figure out how to deal with this as it becomes more and more of the norm. What I'm showing you right now here is Zenlist. And within Zenlist, you go in, you sign up. Where's my sign up? Let me get to it. Here I am, account. You go in, create an account, and you sign up through your MLS ID and password, and you get let into the account. Within Zenlist, there's different levels of pay for. So I just do the free version. I haven't explored the paid for versions yet, but from what I can tell, it integrates all of the MLS listings into your Zenlist. I'm not sure, and I need to go in and look. I'm not sure how much of that we need, since we do have the IDX feed through our website, through the KV Core website. but I'll go in and explore that a little bit better. But what I really wanted to focus on is that when we are, where's my, going to search. When we're looking at Zenlist, these are off-market properties. And so we'll zoom out here. It always goes to, oh, here we go. So this is the whole US. So these are all the properties that are on Zenlist. And when we really drill into these and start looking at the list, we have coming soon, active. So if you have an off-market property and you want to market it within the KV Core, or I'm sorry, within the EXP community, this is how you can do that. And that way the transaction stays in-house. So you can deal with EXP agents on the buyer side if you have that pocket listing. On the other hand, if you are on the buyer side, you can go in and you can create a client profile. And then when that pocket listing pops on the market, that can be sent to the client and also sent to you at the same time, so that you can go to your buyer client and say, hey, we have exclusive off-market listings through our own proprietary listing site. And that way you build value. Steve.
Yeah. One question I was going to say on Zenlist is this is developing into a national database for everybody. So what you're able to do is when you go into a listing, if you're in a competitive situation, you can offer this value. We're all learning how to use this here locally, but if you were able to move out of Sacramento, you would see every single state in the nations beginning to use Zenlist as off-market listings. So as we're building this out, we will be the primary competition, if not replace, because we are currently the only national brokerage allowed to do this. Others can, but we're the only one currently in play that has one national ownership where we operate in all 50 states and all the MLSs that operate. So we're bringing an additional layer for all of our clients to look for off-market properties. And is that not one of the hottest topics you can have with a buyer or a seller? So embrace Zenlist, get your membership signed up. It is very seamless. Alex and I went in with myself, went into my MLS, added my MLS ID. It almost did it all for you. So go get playing around with it, figure out how to get active on it. And we, over time, will do additional classes on Zenlist along with the other trainings, so you can just be proficient at it.
Yeah, and the other thing, guys, is that now with the NAR settlement, what I find myself doing is sitting down with a buyer before we go and see property, and I have my buyer presentation. You know, you're now being interviewed. It's no longer that interview process where we show up at a property, meet a buyer for the first time, and go, oh, go look around and build that rapport. That's not happening anymore. Maybe some cases it happens, but more times than not right now, you as a buyer's agent, when you engage with that buyer, hopefully you're bringing them into this beautiful office that Brent Gove has built for us. You're sitting them down in one of the private offices, and you're allowing them to interview you, but more importantly, you're interviewing them. And part of that interview process should include Zenlist, because you're going to build value. Hey, look, as an EXP agent, here's the exclusives that we have to our office. And if you're looking in Auburn, here's an EXP exclusive right here. Would you be excited to have the opportunity to look at this property and maybe make an offer on it before it hits MLS? That, for me personally, I've never had that value proposition as an agent. And I'm always asked the question, hey, do you have off-market properties? Well, yeah, now I do. And I'm part of an agency that supports this. So you, as a listing agent, myself personally, what I'm doing as a listing agent, I should say, is I'm taking that listing as soon as I can, even if the property's not ready. Maybe they're like, look, I want to wait for 30 days. That's great. Let's get the listing done now. We'll get all the paperwork out of the way, and then I'll help you get your property ready. And then when you're ready to list, we'll go ahead and go active. Now, with that said, Steve will tell you there's a specific form on MLS through MetroList that you have to submit on that off-market property. So you got to follow the right policy and procedure. But once you have that listing agreement, you're going to put it into Zenlist. And now you have 30 days within Zenlist to go and market that property. And you're marketing it to all of the EXP agents in California. So if an EXP agent has created a client profile that lands on that property, now you have that exposure before it hits the market. And you can come back and say, look, it's not ready to list yet, but I can show you preliminary photos, or you can get your client in there early, or whatever it is. For me, I just think it's a game changer for us, using this platform on both the listing side and the buyer side. Now let's jump over. I want to show you something, and I didn't cover this last week, but I was thinking about it afterwards. Within KV Core, we have manual listings. I don't know if you're aware of this, but these are the manual listings. I haven't done one in a minute, but one thing I was doing is going in, and so if I have a property that's not officially listed, or maybe I find it on Craigslist and I have a buyer in tow for that property, I'm not going to send the Craigslist link to that buyer. I'm going to go in and do a manual listing. And that's what I did here. I went in and did this manual listing. I didn't have the listing agreement on it, but I created this. And then I shared this out with the buyers. I was full disclosure saying, look, this isn't my listing, but here's the property details. I haven't looked at this. Yeah, I can't reach it right now. I didn't test this ahead of time. I normally do. But it creates the property link that you would see for all MLS listed properties. And so if you go in here, this is one of the coolest features, I think, of this platform, is the listings feature. And so it goes in and creates this same rich style of listing that you can share out with your clients. You can do that with the manual listing. Really a cool feature of the platform. And again, if you're in the listings feature and you go into manual listings, then you can go in and add the listing. And you just go through all the steps of adding it, property details, photos, all of it's right there. And you see, it's not letting me go because I haven't filled it in. But along with Zenlist, if you use manual listing along with Zenlist, you'll be able to get your property links out there without using a Zillow link or a Craigslist link or directing them to Facebook. I'm finding a lot of properties on Facebook right now. A lot of FSBOs are on Facebook Marketplace. Facebook Marketplace is a great resource to go and look for properties. I probably spend a couple hours a week in there looking to see what new listings are coming along. Some of the stuff, most of the stuff is pretty funky. I saw a land listing up in Grass Valley. It was like 8 acres and looked like it was a marijuana grow. But anyway, use the manual listing feature. I should probably cover that in better detail, but it's out there for you. And then combine that with the Zenlist. Go in there, register, and with all of this technology, just start poking around in there. Time block out an opportunity for you to go in and just start looking at these different properties. This is one up in Auburn, and you can see the information on it. This is Johnny Jennings' property. Way to go, Johnny.
To build on that, Alex, this Zenlist allowed me to meet with a client last week that were doing some buyer shopping. I met them at an open house. They looked at a couple of properties with me. I found out that they potentially will be selling their ranch up in Auburn, but they weren't ready to list or put it on the MLS, very private people. And they asked me specifically, do you have a way to do an off-market listing where people can see it and build it out? And first off, in the past, I would use tourfactory.com. It was always a very good platform. I still use it. But this Zenlist, I was able to sit down, show this to them, show them the KV core that we could put it in as an off-market, and show them how Zenlist could work. They were absolutely thrilled, and they signed a longer-term buyer agreement with me just because this allowed them to realize I had more to offer than the other people that were coming at them, potentially soliciting. So this tool is effective, and it's allowing me to land a $1.3 million listing here right now.
There you go. And so just to wrap up, the more of us that use this, the more of us that utilize this, the more value we can bring to our clients. And that's by Zenlist. It's not hard to sign up. You put in your MLS credentials, you sign up, and like I say, with everything, just go in there and start using it, and you start using it, create different client profiles, and that's what I have for you.
Okay, so we're going to stop the recording, everybody, right now. We're going to put this together, and it'll be out on the school platform for you to refresh. So we're going to stop this recording, but everybody here in the class today can stay for another 15 minutes. We're going to open it up for questions and answers. We're also going to record that session so people have the chance not to be burdened with a 45-minute video, but a 25 and a nice 10, 12, 15-minute video so they can get deeper questions and answers. So I'm going to stop the recording, but those that would like to stay, we're going to do a 15-minute questions and answers.